is up? How we doing? Welcome back to the In the Round podcast, episode 11. You got Matt.
And Tyler.
And no podcasts anymore.
We got the pod dogs.
We recorded this episode with a ton of dogs here. I think there were 3 total.
Yeah, there was Draper, which lives with me. And then there was Smoke, which is our guest dog. And then the Coda Bear has a dog named Cooper.
And Cooper is a wild dog. I live with that dog down in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and I love that dog. But that dog is still a puppy.
That dog is like my favorite.
Still a puppy.
Coda Bear asked me, who's your best friend? And I always say Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. Cooper is a good dog. But yeah, so we recorded this with a couple dogs down in the studio, running around in the backyard, hanging around.
You'll hear them in the back.
You will hear them in the back. You'll also hear other animal noises because our guest this week, a guy that just signed a big deal with King Song, a partnership with Roar Management and all kinds of cool things.
Whiskey Jam. Our buddy Andy Austin, who is one talented guy. Learned a lot about Andy on this episode, Tyler. Yeah, Andy's a great guy. He's another North Carolina guy.
Yeah, these damn North Carolina guys.
Spent time in Georgia.
Yep.
So you know.
Yeah, and big baseball fan. Actually played baseball in college.
We talk baseball in this episode.
We do. They rip on me for being a Yankees fan, but all I got to say, we got rings, baby. And we also hear about Andy's time working as an outfitter, doing basically being a professional hunting guide. I get some hunting 101 where I get to learn a lot. Andy also gives us a treat of how he lures in turkeys to shoot.
Andy's a huge turkey hunter. He got a nice one this year.
Yeah, he's got awesome stuff. And to wrap it all up, to put the icing on the cake for what was an incredible episode, at the end of the episode, of course, an original song. And when you get a guy like Andy Austin in, you don't know what you're going to hear because it's going to be good, but you don't know what direction it's going to go. And he gave us a real treat for this episode, a track called 1 Foot in the Door that he wrote with another badass songwriter, Miss Kasey Tyndall. And it is a track that gives me kind of chills. You hear Andy's voice on it. It's so crisp. It sounds awesome down here. And you'll hear that at the end of the episode. Now let's get to it. Enough talking, enough BS. Tyler, hit that damn music. Let's go in the round with Andy Austin. What is up, everyone? How we doing? Welcome back to the In the Round podcast. You got Matt and Tyler, Coda Bear, and instead of the podcast, we got the pod dogs with us today. We got a lot of dogs in the house, some outside, some inside. And speaking of dogs, one of the guys that brought a dog with him today, our good buddy, a very talented songwriter, a proud Carolina boy, an outdoorsman, and an all-around great dude. It's Mr. Andy Austin. Andy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, man. I appreciate y'all having me here today.
Dude, we appreciate you coming. You're a busy guy. You had a lot of news break. What was that, last week? 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
Last week? You happy to finally have it out there?
I am, man. It's relief. I mean, just, step in the right direction, and I feel like so.
So it's with King Song,
correct,
which is a group that comes with Roar Management, correct?
It does. Bradley Collins, who he's been at BMI for forever. It's Bradley, Ward Gunther with Whiskey Jam, and Ryan O'Nan with Roar Management.
So that's a big deal, and you're very humble and cool about it right now. But like that's a big deal. What was that like when you first found out about that and started talking? Like, because that's the dream for when somebody comes to this town to get a deal, whether it's publishing or artist development. You got them both. Like, how does that?
Yeah, I
go
mean,
for you?
I'm extremely, extremely grateful for every opportunity that I've gotten and everything. But from the time I moved here, I went to Whiskey Jam and I saw Ward, and really wanted to get to know him. And once we met, we were just, he just seemed like an all-around great guy. And then, just one thing led to another. We started writing together, and he really liked my stuff, kind of vice versa, and one thing led to another, and then it's come to this, and I'm excited for what it has in store.
Yeah, now something else to get excited about. We're going to talk plenty about music while we're doing this. You are a guy that very much enjoys shooting stuff, enjoys shooting turkeys, particularly around this time of year. Yep. And we didn't get to see, we would see you a whole lot like at work when you'd come in to play some gigs and whatnot. We'd see you around town, but you were busy. You were busy with it being turkey season.
Yeah, man. So this was probably one of my longest turkey seasons I've had this year. We started, me and buddy Tyler Chambers, who's another songwriter in town. He's from South Georgia in Douglas, and we went down there and hunted in March. I think it was March 23rd was opening weekend. We had 2 of our buddies from North Carolina come and meet us down there, and we hunted for, I think, 4 days, and had some luck. We shot at some, we missed some. We did kill one, but it was a lot of fun. But we started in Georgia, then we went to come back here. It opened the 30th of March in Tennessee, and it's this Middle Tennessee spot is like a little hidden gem of turkeys. I mean,
really?
They are everywhere, man. It doesn't matter north, south, east, or west of town. They're everywhere.
Well, you remember, like, I think it was Dave pulled out my driveway like a month ago, and there was a turkey in the driveway across the street.
Yeah, we had turkeys right here, just 3 miles from downtown.
I mean, I got friends that live in East Nashville that they are in the yard all the time. They'll send me pictures and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, again, I don't know a whole lot about hunting. Coming from New York, and I have buddies that hunt and all that stuff back home. But is turkey your favorite thing to hunt? Because I know there's a lot of things you can hunt, and I know especially down here in the South, there's a lot that you guys can go after. I'm sure you've been on trips. I know you have like an out. It says you work for an outdoors
outfitter.
Outfitter. So what exactly is that, and what exactly do you do with that?
As far as the turkey question, turkeys probably get me more riled up than any other animal that I get to hunt.
Is it because they taste good, or what is it?
Well, it's a mix, because I mean it's about outsmarting, and outsmarting one of them things. They get hunted every day of the year, not just however long the season is here in Nashville or wherever you're hunting them at. They're so smart, and then once you get them inside of that distance, I mean the whole time they're looking for something that's trying to kill them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come in and they don't pay you no attention, and boom, it's over. But I've got busted so many times. I mean, that's why a lot of people turkey hunt, not everybody kills turkeys. Or if they kill one, they kill one. They don't get to, kill 3 or 4 because they're so smart. And you get busted so much, and it just takes time and time and time and time of failure. And then, hopefully you outsmart 1 or 2 or however many you get to get in front of. But as far as outfitter, in college, I wanted to work for an outfitter when if I got out. I played baseball in college.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to UNC Wilmington.
Okay.
In North Carolina. I was fortunate enough to play baseball there for 4 years, and I got a degree in hospitality and tourism management, and I was, direct reflection of owning and operating a outfitter someday. So my senior year, I got a chance to go up and work for an outfitter in North Dakota, and it was a pheasant and waterfowl outfitter, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. I mean, it is a legit dream job, and you go up there for a month and a half, 2 months, and you work every day.
What was going to North Dakota like? That is a long way away from North Carolina, especially Wilmington.
You see so much of it, on YouTube or duck hunting in general. North Dakota, all the birds and everything, and it truly is. It's remarkable to see at how many birds are in that flyway, and they just migrate down. They start in Canada, and you can just watch the weather. If it's a snowstorm, if it's heavy wind, anything, you can just see. A few thousand ducks will show up, or they'll be where you're hunting at that evening before, and the next day they're completely gone because the weather that rolled through overnight. It's just crazy to see, Mother Nature out there opposed to here, because we don't really we see, a few hundred ducks, and you're like, wow, that's a lot. I've seen tens and thousands of them at one time together.
Wow.
But it's really neat to see, and, it's a great opportunity. I love it out there. It's just, you can't explain it to somebody that hasn't seen it. You have to go out and see it for yourself.
I know from South Alabama, going duck hunting and all, you see 20, 30 ducks at a time, and that's a big group of them. We don't get the lot of the big groups of them down on the bayou.
That's cool, man. Now, so you went the college route. You got your degree. You were a freaking student athlete doing all that. How do you get into the songwriting thing? What makes you go through all this stuff with the degree? What brings you to Nashville?
As far as like when I started with music or wanting to play guitar and sing, I was in high school, and I'd always sang growing up. I'm singing church and stuff with my family, and just in high school, I was at a party and a dude was playing guitar, and I was like, "That is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life." And he wasn't singing original music or anything, but like, you'd have all these people, and then somebody, gets a guitar and starts playing, and everybody shuts up and listens, and you're just like, this is a cool moment right here.
Yeah.
So I got a guitar. It was my freshman year of college, or my senior year of high school. That summer before my freshman year of college. Got this little cheap guitar and started, playing here and there and looking on YouTube and learning these songs and chords and all this stuff, and just, taught myself how to play over videos on YouTube. And I'd give anything to go back and start when I was 5 or 6 years old. I envy those guys every single day that can just pick a guitar up and rip on it, because that's what they did when they were little. They didn't play video games; they played a guitar. But in college, I started playing, and I one Tuesday afternoon, I had some buddies. They were going to a place called Katie's Bar and Grill that night, and they were like, "Yeah, man, they got like open karaoke. The guy plays guitar. You ought to come up there and play a song, whatever." And I think I was doing homework or something, and they were up there, and they're like, "Yeah, he said come up here, bring your guitar." So I got my stuff done, and I probably didn't get it done actually. Just kind of quit it, put it off, and we went up there, and I think we got home about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had played all night. Man, it was so much fun. And just from there, I had a love for it, and didn't really write that much. I started writing in college a little bit, but you were just so busy trying to learn songs, for people to sing.
And play baseball.
Yeah.
The student athlete thing. What position did you play?
I was a corner infielder. I played first base and outfield through for UNCW a lot, and then I was, in the summer, I'd play first, third, or wherever they needed me, really.
Now, I'm guessing you're a Braves fan?
Huge Braves fan.
All right.
Yep.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I've learned.
We don't.
I don't mind the Braves at all. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. It's better than the Mets or the Phillies or the damn Red Sox. But so
the Red Sox are better than the Yankees.
Fuck the Red Sox. Keep it over this. Say this every damn episode, man. Come on.
It's baseball season, man. The rivalry is real.
Oh, absolutely. So, did you ever think about doing baseball pro? Like, was that in your mindset, or was it just like, hey, I like doing this if there's an opportunity to continue?
Yeah, as far as any baseball player is going to tell you, their dream is to be a Major League Baseball player. And when I was young, it was super realistic. I felt, I worked my butt off to get where I was at, and it was just every weekend it felt like it was baseball, and through the week that's all you wanted to do. You wanted to get better, or you wanted to be better than whoever you were playing against. And I played and played and played and played, and I loved it. I wouldn't take it back, a day. Baseball's one of my first loves ever. Yeah. And I just got to college, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I was some college stud and freaking hit 400 and home runs every weekend, but I worked hard, and I played when I could, and tried to help the team whenever I could, and had a great time. We were super successful, and I loved it. But probably about midway through college, I was I really love music. I love playing, and I saw a future with that, or being a hunting guide, just because hunting brought me so much joy.
Yeah, it's cool too. So there's a lot of guys. I'm sure you've seen the Bone Collector album from the Red Akins and Dallas Davidson and all those guys. So hunting and country music goes together. But a lot of people don't know baseball and country music. There's a lot of guys that are out there doing the music thing that were college players. Some guys like Brett Young that had the opportunity to go pro. That's a cool dynamic that you're able to bring both those kind of things into it. That you were doing all of it. Yeah,
a lot of baseball and hunting and baseball and music, it's all intertwined somehow. You got, I think Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean are with Buck Commander.
Yeah, they go down with the Robertsons and do all that. Which as a hunting guy, so again, I know nothing about that. I just bought my first gun. So with the Duck Dynasty thing, when you're watching that, is that like actual like hunting stuff? Like, do those guys know what they're doing?
Oh yeah. So they're exceptionally well hunters. Before Duck Dynasty hit, it was Duck Commander. Yeah. And they had videos and different stuff. But yeah, they were hunters. It wasn't, I didn't feel like they were doing it to be cool, like some people out there, which I'm not ragging anybody. If you're hunting outdoors, I can't hate you for it. I want everybody to do that, to experience that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys were hunting for food, and they were good. They were freaking heck of hunters. I've learned some stuff from sitting and watching them and listening to them talk about ducks and everything.
Yeah, and I've seen the one video. I think it's Luke Bryan taking his first deer with a bow or something like that, and just seeing that feeling. That's got to be awesome. That's something like that. But there's got to be that that feeling of when you get that kill. Like I've heard you get like some people get like a shake or something. Like
Yeah, you have. There's a thing called buck fever.
buck fever. Yes.
Which I love deer hunting for a good while. I really love hunting with dogs. That's kind of one of my number one passions. I grew up rabbit hunting, and though rabbit hunting, you don't really get that freak out, can't breathe thing that happens with I think deer, any type of big game animal, gives you that excitement. I mean, coyotes and stuff will get you going too, but that turkey, deer, I've never got to elk hunt, but just talking to people that have, that experience, turkeys get me that type of, it's almost like your stomach flips upside down and you can barely breathe because you're so excited. Ducks do the same thing for me, ducks and geese. I mean, if I get, 400 or 500 ducks come in and land right at my feet, 10, 15 yards away, I'll be a nervous wreck, man. I mean, I can't even hardly talk. I'm going by high-fiving everybody in the blinds and screaming and yelling, but yeah, that and turkeys, that's what really gets me going. So I'm, firsthand.
So deer's the biggest thing you've gotten to take? Or have you been out like a bear hunter, an alligator?
I got to bear hunt with my dad growing up. We hog hunted a little bit, and he shot a bear. I want to say the bear was maybe 310, 315 range, and then he shot a hog that was probably 260 pounds. I mean, it was a monster.
Yeah.
But
you got to be careful hog hunting, right? They'll go after you. They're known to give you a fight, right?
Yeah, they're mean, man. They're mean boogers.
Especially if you're down in the swamp and you step on one. That's never fun.
You stepped on one?
I haven't stepped on one, but I've had a buddy step on one, and that's not a fun experience. I was out with him, and that's a scary moment.
Dude, there's a recent post in the last week where a guy got ripped across the face.
Yeah.
And it cut his nose right here.
Geez.
Well, with Arkansas, we didn't have the Razorbacks where we're from, but Razorbacks, what they're known to doing is they sit in the mud and they come up and they take their back and go in between your legs and they'll cut your arteries open. And, that's why you just got to be super careful about them, especially with those tusks and all, man. They'll rip you a new one.
You up. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day we'll get to hear. Well, I'll get to go hog hunting and do some of that stuff. Now back to the music stuff. So you moved to town in March, you said, right? Mm-hmm. In March of this year. When was what was your first impression of Nashville, being a small town Carolina guy?
You get here and you don't know anybody. I think I had maybe one or two friends, and it's really, I mean, when you're 23, 24, 25, you move away from home. I mean, I understood how to live by myself because I was in college and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but going to college, you had a baseball team, so you already had buddies, kind of, and you move out here and you don't know anybody. You got to go listen to their music and kind of take, meeting them, shaking their hand, drinking a beer with them, and you just kind of fill out who you want to. You try to pick people that like the same things you like, that valuable the same things, and see if get a write with them. Write 1 or 2, 3 times with them. If it doesn't mesh, then just put that one in your book. Drink a beer with them, but they don't mean you have to write a song with them. Yeah. But you kind of pick out who wants to make the same music as you, or who's a good fit, who's a good write, even if it's a different genre that you're used to writing or anything. It's still good for you as a writer to go in and write a song with somebody.
Your first co-write experience in Nashville, what was that like?
Who did I write with?
Because I know you're writing. You're doing this thing professionally now. You're writing a lot, so I'm sure they kind of sometimes can get meshed together.
I was writing, but it wasn't good music. I didn't feel like when I first got here. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to move out here. I didn't feel like I was growing any as a musician or a songwriter back in Wilmington, and I'd rather move out here and learn firsthand, even if I had to fail for a year or two. To learn how to write songs the right way, at least, or see how people that were making a living doing it were writing them, and so I moved out here, and who was one of the first
Or
people?
even one of your first buddies that you're having a beer after Whiskey Jam over at Losers or Red Door or one that stretch, and you're like you sit down and then you end up writing with them.
Yeah, I met Matt Daniels at a revival, I think, one night, and Ryan Nelson was there.
Oh, good old Ryan. That means you were having a good time.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Love that guy.
But yeah, I met them, and I'd heard Ryan play a few times, and Matt, and they seem like great guys, and they are. I mean, they're still friends to this day with me. But we went over to Matt's, and he was living with Ryan Nelson at the time, and Ryan had a write, and it might have got canceled, or he was open that day, and we sat down and we wrote a song called "Good and Cold." It was about drinking beer or something, and it was just kind of like a little swampy tune. And I remember after that, I was like, "Holy crap! That's how it happens, just like that." And I mean, I like the song. I'm not saying it was a bad song or anything. Yeah. I need to learn to play it better. That's usually why I don't play it, because I can't play the guitar lick on it. But I mean, just getting together, three kind of strangers, we barely knew each other, and we come up with a song. 3.5 minutes of stuff that we just threw together, and that was really neat for me.
Yeah, now I'm sure you've got like a circle of like a crew that you're writing with pretty regularly. Like I'll see like some of our buddies that'll get together. Like we'll just be hanging out, screwing around at the apartment, and then all of a sudden the guitars will come out and they'll just start writing. Like who would you say is like your go-to people with the writing stuff? Your little circle.
Yeah,
my crew.
I hang out with Chad Bishop and Tyler Chambers a whole lot. We heck, I hang out at their house just as much as I hang out at mine, if not more.
Sound familiar, Tyler?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, those two guys. Dylan Marlowe lives over there as well. We hang out a good bit. Ward's a heck of a writer too.
How'd you first get to like meet Ward? Because you guys, that's an important guy in this town.
Yeah.
I call him the king of Midtown in terms
he's
of just original music. Like he's the biggest champion of it with supporting people, and he's doing his own thing, and such a cool dude. And I get to see him when he's not running around, because he's always running around and busy. How'd you get to develop the friendship?
So when I moved to town, I had a mutual friend, and I'm not name dropping or anything of those, but she introduced us, and we hit it off. I think I'd played, second or third week I was in town. I played Whiskey Jam, and I didn't have enough songs to play. You're supposed to play three originals, and I had one song that I had written that I want to play in front of, a crowd.
Yeah.
And
especially that crowd, that Whiskey Jam crowd.
Yeah,
that is people that know good music.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, you play 3 songs, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Man, I can probably play 2. I was like, "I know, I'm sorry." I was like, "I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, but like, I can probably play 2. He's like, "That's fine, just do 2 songs. That's cool." So I have to write a song before Whiskey Jam in a week. And I mean, and not just like write a, little nursery rhyme, like write a song that you'd want people to like, categorize you with.
Yeah.
And, I forget. Yeah, wrote a song that week. Now I wouldn't play it now if you paid me money, but played it, and after that, Ward, we exchanged numbers at Whiskey Jam, and I come over and wrote with him over at the old office. I think it's off of Wedgwood Avenue right there off 65. But we wrote, and we just kind of were buddies since then, and it just kind of kept on. One thing led to another, and we wrote a little bit more, and we got some rights with some other great songwriters in town, and started writing songs that we really liked. So we just kind of ran with it.
Okay, that's awesome, because my first impression of like the Whiskey Jam thing, I went for the first time when I came to visit our buddy Dave in September. Which Dave, another guy that you. How did you and Dave hang?
Me and Dave met. I was playing some gigs at Whiskey Row, and he was a security guy there, and we just kind of hit it off. He played, I played, and he'd come over to the house and we'd hang out. Sometimes we'd get cookout at 2 a.m. and whatnot.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And he was over at the house, and that's actually how Griffin Elmore, the guy that manages over at Whiskey Row.
Oh, you know Griffin
Yeah.
from back home?
Well, yeah, we went to high school together.
No shit.
Cool. We moved to Nashville together.
Really?
And yeah, so we lived in the same apartment. And Dave was over, and Griffin was looking for a job. I was like, hey man, he works downtown. He was thinking about being a security guard. So Dave got him an interview or whatever, and he went in, and he's like, man, I think I might try to manage down there with them and whatnot. So that's how all that intermingled together.
No shit. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've been working there for 6 months. I had no idea. Holy shit. That's awesome, dude.
So
No freaking way. Now I got to ask, so I'll put you on the spot a little bit. So Dave, as we know, sports a real nice, like 70s, I call it the 70s porn stash. The Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Your buddy John that you play with over at Whiskey Row. He's got a mustache. Johnny Wood. What mustache do you like better?
I don't know, man.
Because those are two strong mustaches. John, I think, gets pulls it off better because he's always wearing the lid. He's always got the cowboy.
Yeah, so John and I met because I worked at Boot Barn with John for a while.
Oh, John worked at Boot Barn?
Yeah.
He looks like the guy that would work at Boot Barn with that mustache.
No, John and I would both work at Boot Barn and just talk to each other about how much we hated life there.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So how'd you meet Johnny?
I met John at, where did we meet? I think at Winners or Losers.
That's where everybody
meets.
That's
Demumbrian.
That's where I met you.
Tin Roof or, somewhere on Demumbrian or Division. Somewhere there. And I think the first time I heard about him, he recorded an Eagles cover on Instagram. And I love the Eagles, man. I think that's the best band that's ever.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, and I'll take that to my grave. I'll argue with anybody. That Allman Brothers, I love the Allman Brothers. Not saying that other groups weren't amazing either.
Yeah.
It's just the Eagles, to me, that I love that type of music, that's just more my speed.
Yeah, so for you, with musical influences then, you were saying that you sing in church, which I'm learning, you would sing in church and stuff, which I've learned is very common down here. That's not a thing for me back home and stuff. What kind of influences were you?
I would say, Gaither Vocal Band, Michael English was a huge name growing up, listening to his music. He's one of the best gospel singers, I think. And, David Phelps, too. He was with the vocal band. Jason Crabb, grew up listening to the Hensons. There was a number of, the Martins, the Isaacs, all those old. They're not really old, but
yeah.
All of the
the pod dogs over there. We got a lot of dogs. We're getting really really country. And it's talking about gospel. That's cool. So with the gospel stuff. So you were also saying you like the Eagles a lot. You really like.
Yep, love the Eagles. Allman Brothers. A lot of the old stuff, and I don't say that to sound cool or anything, but like I grew up genuinely listening to like all that old. Merle Haggard, George Jones, all that, like old Willie Nelson. Like before Willie Nelson was like, hippie.
Yeah.
All that stuff, which I still like Willie Nelson.
Oh, amen.
But like old Hank Jr., like before Hank Jr. was, doing beer commercials and all that, when he was like dressing in a suit and going and playing gigs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved all that old stuff, man. Ronnie Millsap, one of my favorite artists from back in the day. Gene Watson, those dudes were so super talented. You can hear it. When you hear those old recordings and stuff of them singing, and it's just them and a mic, and you can hear their breaths and all that. It shows how talented those guys were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, for you as writing now in 2019, obviously the country landscape pretty different from when Ronnie Millsap and those guys were doing what they were doing. Does growing up with that stuff and having that appreciation inspire you to write like damn country songs? Like, because I've heard like some of your original stuff and seen you play acoustically a lot. Like, does that inspire you to want to keep that country tradition going?
Yeah, that's such a. I wouldn't say it's a tough question. It's just. That's a big issue in country today.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
You have so many people on different sides of it. You don't really. It's categorized as country, and then people talk bad about it. But people they're just making music.
Yeah.
If you don't like them, you have 500 different options. You know, go like somebody else. Don't hate one person.
Yeah.
You know, go like 5 people. Don't hate 10 people.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I just really I like to make good music. I like to make stuff, you know, represents me, what I want to tell people and everything, and you know, just great music that has a good message, and you know, it makes you feel good.
Yeah. Now, if you open up your Spotify playlist or Apple Music or whatever let's be honest, everybody's streaming music nowadays. What do you got on there right now? What's your It's a Monday, and I'm driving in the truck, and I got Old Smokey sitting right next to me. What do you got?
Let's see here. An old album by Brad Paisley, Part 2. It's got some jams on it.
Okay, yeah. I love some early Brad Paisley.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Chris Stapleton fan, but heck, who isn't?
Yeah.
You know, like, playing downtown, I try to look up, instead of playing the same songs that everybody hears in every bar, go back and, like, dig into the 2000s and, like, even just the top 20 songs of every year. You can go back and find songs that you're like, holy crap, I forgot this song existed.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, every word, everything, it was just that powerful of a song back then. Because we listened to the radio. Whenever you got in the car with your mom and dad and went somewhere, everybody listened to the radio. You didn't have an iPod that you plugged into. And we were just that right generation before, like, the iPods and all that, which we had them, like MP3 players and stuff growing up, but I had 2 older sisters, you know, and younger sister. They had MP3 players and everything. I was outside in the yard shooting birds with a BB gun.
Yeah.
But you listen to CDs, you know, when a CD come out. I want to say they dropped CDs on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
Back home, I can remember, you know, through middle school and stuff, they would set them out. I would usually get them from Walmart. They would set them out on the shelves at 2 a.m. That's when they would restock the CDs for the upcoming day. So Tuesday morning at 2 a.m., I would grab one out of the box that they were setting out every year. I've Brad Paisley records. Try to think who else back then.
Do you remember that one CD you were like really pumped? You were like, this is finally out. I'm going to go grab it.
What's one? I remember like when Brett Eldridge, I got Brett Eldridge's record one time, and it was just like every song was just boom, 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 boom.
Just, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's a David Nail record that I remember listening to and knowing every single word to it and guitar lick, and it was like the Sound of a Million Dreams.
Yeah.
I think that was the album. But just, I don't know, everybody had those old books, like the little CD carrier things, and it would have 50 CDs in it in the truck, and you would just flip through.
That was my favorite. My dad's given me 2 things that, like, hand-me-downs that I loved. His set of golf clubs, which I'm very grateful for, and his CD case that had everything in it from, like, old stuff. That was one of the first times I heard Garth Brooks was being with my dad. Like because it was just, I pulled it out of the CD thing. He's like, oh, I haven't listened to this in years. And I'm like, oh, let's pull it out and see it. And you could fit a lot of them in there. Like some of the bigger ones.
Yeah,
like,
you put 2 or 3, 4 in the same thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do now is go out to McKay's and buy like $1-2 CDs that are like no names and just see like what it is. I've got probably 100 of those sitting somewhere where I'm just like, it was 95 cents. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's with the streaming thing. It makes it so much easier to find out what's like to hear. I think the streaming helps new music. I don't think it helps out you guys as much with the guys that are putting out the music kind of thing, if that makes sense. Because I know record sales were a huge thing. We had Steve on a couple weeks ago, Tyler, and he was talking about. We had a guy, Steve Grauberg, on last week actually, and he had a cut on Tim McGraw record back in the 90s. So for him, that he gets with the way that album sales worked back then, that was like a huge deal. Now there's not as many people buying the full length album.
Yeah,
makes you more writing for a hit than writing for a cut.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's just, you know.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that with the now we're in such like a single world where like you're really trying to write that single because there isn't as much love coming to getting a cut that is like say track 7 or 8 on a record, where it's not being sent out to radio or featured on one of the big Spotify playlists?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people sit down and they say, you know, Chris Stapleton has a video where he makes a joke. He's like, you know, he was sitting down with Ronnie Bowman maybe, or somebody, and he said, hey, let's write a hit today. And I mean, you don't really sit down and say, hey, let's write a hit or whatnot, but you just try to get a good song. There's no, I mean, people say there's a formula to all of it or anything. Most of the guys that get good cuts, they just try to go in and write a good song every day. And the end of the month, if they got 2 that they love, or if they got 5 that they love, as long as they're writing good music that they think, has a chance to do whatever they want it to do, if they just want a good song that for them, then as long as it's, a good song to them.
Yeah. Now for you, when you're going in to one of those rooms, something that happens, it sounds like it happens a decent amount. Writer's block. What's your cure for that?
I mean, heck, everybody's had it. Even if they don't say they've had it, they've had it.
Yeah.
You just get up, walk around, go outside. When we were right over at Ryan's house, he's got a little creek behind his house. We'll go down there and, whatever. Ryan usually walks in the creek barefooted. And we'll throw rocks in the creek or whatever and throw football in the yard. He's got a football he likes. But, just get up, move around, breathe. I don't know. Get something to eat. That's one of the number one things that's easy to do. Hey, let's go get a sandwich, But just, don't really sit there and lock down and just, keep yourself in the same spot, same position. Get up, walk around, get your blood pumping a little bit, Go through, look through old pictures or something, if you're having a bad day of, just getting ideas as far as, first verse or however you want it to work, go through your pictures, look at them. You might think of something, just seeing, it could be anything. You never know. I mean, that's the thing with, writing a song. There's no right and wrong of it if it hadn't been created yet. So it can go in any direction you want it to.
Yeah, has there been a moment where you've gone in a room and then walked out afterwards and you're like, holy shit, like, I can't believe that just came out of me and so-and-so hanging out together?
I wrote a song with Kasey Tyndall about a month ago that is probably one of my favorite ones that I've been a part of. And it was easy. I mean, you have days where you write for, 4 hours and it's just like every line is just like you're chiseling it in. And then other days it's like, you're texting it on your phone and it just one after the other. You're like, yeah, that works, that's good. And, that was one of those days where it was like, didn't take us too long to get one line to the next. It just kind of flowed. We talked about it. But some things, that help me, and you were talking about writer's block, if you keep talking, even if it's stupid, like, you can't be like, man, I'm going to say something and they're not going to like me anymore. They're going to think I'm an idiot, or, just say the craziest, stupidest crap. And you can still get stuff. Because a lot of times, as soon as you can get everybody's mind off of and this is from my experiences, as soon as you can get everybody's mind off of the song, where they're just talking and they're thinking about their story they're telling you, that's where you'll get something. And they'll say something, and you got two other people, or if you're writing one-on-one, that other person, but they'll pick something out of what you're saying just because that creative process that a lot of singer-songwriters have to have. They'll hear something and nothing, and you go from there. Something and nothing. That might be a line right there.
See, look right there.
See,
it's coming. It's happening. Now, so you were saying about playing different things when you're doing those sets on Broadway, and you play stuff that not everybody else is playing. My favorite song that we get to hear you do is when you play some Tyler Childers.
Oh yeah.
When you break out Tyler Childers, and people are kind of looking around, and some of them probably think that this is you playing an original, just because the way that it's marketed. I love Tyler Childers, and Tyler Childers, huge name.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite for sure.
Sells out wherever he goes, and he's doing his thing. But like, that's not something that you hear on Broadway.
Yeah,
at all.
That's true. I mean, usually if it's a good song, people aren't going to know. And I'm not talking bad about Broadway, but a lot of those people are just sitting there eating and drinking.
Yeah, they're not
really
there.
Picking apart your song. Or
if you want the original music, it's Midtown is where you got to go.
Yeah,
you got to go to.
And there's certain venues. I will say, there's certain venues that they'll listen to the song better than others will.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, it's the kind of the crowd.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I mean, tourists, they're here for the experience. They're not really here to, listen to.
I'll say this. I've noticed a lot of times on the first floor at Whiskey Road that if you got somebody playing up at the Ryman, the closer it gets to that show, the more that Ryman crowd comes in. And
they listen.
And they care. Like, last year whenever Isbell did his stint, like everybody was saying Isbell, Prine, Childers, Sturgill Simpson, like that was the requests that were coming in. You actually got to see a lot of guys go, I don't know any of that.
Yeah. Which for you, who's your favorite of that group? Because there's that wave that wave of that new traditional style mixed with the Americana. I say new because it's not the old traditional guys. Like they're newer guys on the block, but that traditional style.
They're just the thing about those guys is they're their self.
They don't care what people are thinking.
Right, but that's why I think their music is so personable and understandable, and so many people love it. I mean, it ain't like they're a hidden gem. Like there's a lot of people that stream their music, that buy their music, that go to their shows. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be publicly known on the news or on the radio. I mean, they're getting their fans, and they're great artists, but they're their self, and they can be their self. They don't have anybody telling them what to do, and I think that's why they're successful. Cody Johnson's doing.
Oh, Kojo! I was at that Ryman show.
Yeah.
Over the couple weeks ago. All the days blend into one down here. But that
weekend, bud.
It wasn't last weekend.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah,
it was.
Explains it. That was last weekend. And that was one of the coolest things because he come into town and everybody told him Texas isn't going to work in Nashville. Texas isn't going to sell. Texas is only as big as Texas. And now you look at where that Red Dirt style is going.
Oh, yeah.
And Kojo is selling out venues across the country, and he's going out in big tours, and he's getting that airplay and stuff. And a guy like what's your favorite Kojo song? I know there's a lot to choose from.
That's tough, man. He probably my favorite Cody Johnson song. Monday Morning Merle's pretty hard to beat, dude. I mean, that's a daggone good song. I like that one. Also, Half a Song. That's a good one too. But I mean, he's got so many good songs. It ain't like he's got one on every record. He's got 5 or 6 that are just awesome.
He just bumps them out and just does his thing. In his live show, he kept it a Cody Johnson show, like what you'd see at an amphitheater or at a festival. He did that in the Ryman. He was flying around and still cussing and doing his thing, and everything that he does at the big venues he was doing in that little special place, which that was my first time going to the Ryman. Dave's first time going too, and that was just such
special,
a cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, have you gotten to go at all? See any shows?
last time I was there, I went and seen Kasey Musgraves.
Ooh.
Back I think the 1st of March.
Tyler just got excited.
I wanted to go to that one real bad.
But it was really neat, man. She's an entertainer of the year this year, and just her songs. I mean, she's her.
Again, another person where it's that authentic, like it's really you. It's not coming from. So now that's something I got to ask with that. So all those guys, they're singing their own songs that they're writing and stuff. Now, for you as a guy that's doing the writing thing, but also just signed on as an artist development deal, what's that process like for you? Where like if a song gets pitched to you, or because there's people that are like vocalists that aren't as big on the writing side,
right?
Like Aldean, Aldean's hasn't sang an original Aldean song. I mean, I know he's a decent writer, but like there's those big names like that, or even just other people that aren't singing their own songs. For you as a guy that writes great songs, is that something down the road where you think about?
Yeah, I mean, I would always be open to an outside song.
Okay,
a good song is a good song.
Okay,
I don't have to, not because I wrote it or anything. Will I hold it above another song? I mean, there's incredible writers. And
has it happened for you where a song that you've written or been a part of is being sung by somebody else? And how is that feeling?
No, not yet. Okay. Hopefully, but we just did a demo on that song I was telling you about with Kasey Tyndall, and
who's phenomenal, by the way. I love me some Kasey Tyndall. She's entertaining, real sweetheart. And
she is.
She's a fun time being out with too. I've gotten to do that after some whiskey jams where we've all gone out and hung with that crowd. And so, how did you and her meet? Because isn't she from Carolina as well?
Yes, she's from the Raleigh area. I remember being in college and I would see like posters and billboards and stuff of her playing in Raleigh at, I forget the venue it was. And it was pretty neat just seeing her, like she moved there and she started growing and getting everything rolling and her being an artist, and then you move out there and I think I moved on a Monday, and on Tuesday I went to Revival, and Lainey Wilson and Gentle and Master were playing.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that's a show.
I remember hearing their songs, and I was like, "There's no way I'm ever going to make it here. Like those songs are insane." And flash forward to a year from now. I mean, I met Tyler Chambers through them, at Revival, and I met him at Ryan Nelson's house one night. But I mean, it's just such a close knit group. Everybody knows everybody, and you look at it now, and we're all friends, and they're just great people.
Yeah.
Same as they grew up the same as you did. They moved here. They didn't have anybody, and they you get by one day at a time, and you build your friends from the ground, and you just stick with each other.
Yeah, no, and it seems like that saying, it's all about the hang, like just meeting people.
Yeah, 100%.
And being cool. If you're not cool to hang out with, why am I going to want to get in a room and think we can create something cool together, Like, I feel like that's something that's really, really cool and unique to Nashville. So now, what's next in terms of music stuff?
Just, we're going to sit down and write pretty hard for the next few months and, try to get 12, 15 songs that we really think are great, and then maybe, cut down from that and, get 5 or 6, 4 or 5, and try to make a little EP by the end of the year.
So an original so that's coming.
Yep.
How do you feel about that, dude? A year
Great,
into
yeah.
it.
I'm excited, man. It's going to be really neat to get in and write some songs, and even the songs that I've already written, with some of my best friends and everything. It's, I'm looking forward to trying to get them out, let everybody hear them.
Yeah, now we got a guitar in front of you. Now, real quick, before we get towards wrapping this whole thing up and having you play a little bit for us, something I've gotten to see you do this out before and whatnot, and gotten to see you do the turkey call, the duck call, any animal noises. Tyler makes animal noises too. One of them sounds like the dragon from Game of Thrones, where it's like a baby dragon. He sounds like a little baby dragon, and his mother confirmed this last night. I was out. Tyler's mom's in town from Alabama. Shout out to Mother Teresa. Down there. I know she's going to be listening and stuff, but she was saying too how it sounds like a dragon. So I want to hear your turkey call.
All right, so
if you don't mind, because
I don't mind.
I know we're out of turkey season.
Do you have to get in the character here at all?
No,
yeah.
not really.
Okay.
Hey Cody, get some video. Get some.
Kind of, turkey hunting. You have mouth calls and slate callers and whatever pot calls, box calls, but there's also like a goblin call that they have that you can shake and everything. Well, I was probably 16 or 17, and I was on YouTube, and there's a guy named Preston Pittman, and he was gobbling with his mouth. And I actually got to meet him for the first time this past year at the NWTF in February, and talked to him and everything. But that was the reason I wanted to learn how to gobble, because it was neat to hear him. He sounded just like a turkey, and I was like, holy crap, that sounds better than a real turkey, And so I started working on it, and I do it by myself and just work on it, because you don't want to do it and sound like an idiot. And if you're hunting with somebody, you don't want to sound stupid or scare the bird off, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, the goal is to get the bird.
So yeah, I kept on and on and on and on and on, and finally, I started doing it out hunting, and birds would respond to it, and I was like, "Holy, this is working! They actually think I'm a turkey." So, but yeah, so. I can owl hoot. A lot of times in the morning you'll go out and, when they're still up in the trees roosted, you can hoot like an owl. And
what's that sound like? I want to hear it.
Yeah, I'll do it here in a minute. But you hoot like an owl and a turkey gobbles back. Because when a turkey wakes up in the morning, he's all like freaking beating on his chest kind of thing. I'm letting everybody know that I'm here. I'm the head honcho. Because in the spring they're breeding. So that's why their heads get all red and blue and white and all that. It's because of blood and stuff in them. And so they wake up, they're on top of the world then, ready to fight whatever, is going to get in their way. And you hoot like an owl. So this is it. Ow! Ooh, 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 ah. Ow! 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 So there's your turkey gobble and your owl hoot.
That was awesome. Appreciate that. The dog's reaction was priceless.
Yep.
Cooper's reaction. Now your dog Smokey that you got with you. Is it cool if I call him Smokey?
You can call him Smokey.
Smokey. All right, cool. Because you were calling him Smoke. And I gotta say when I pulled up here to our studio at Tyler's place and I saw the truck, I'm like that's Andy. That's a Carolina truck, and it's got the tags on it. And then I look over and I see you got your dog. I'm like, this boy is country. He's bringing his dog everywhere he goes. So that's your buddy right there.
Yeah. So I got Smoke when I graduated college. He was my graduation present. I got him when he was 4. He was a good buddy of mine, Pike Halls, that I guided with out in North Dakota my first year. But we were friends from North Carolina. He was at Camp Lejeune when I was in Wilmington.
Okay.
And we met at a turkey camp one spring, and we've been buddies ever since. But he got me the gig up there, and I come up there and hunted for a year, and Smoke was there, and I was like, golly, man, that's one of the best dogs I've ever seen. And, once you hunt, you can duck hunt all you want. Once you duck hunt with a good dog that listens, that's like another person there hunting with y'all, you will never want to go again without a good dog. And if you go with a bad dog, it's the complete opposite. You'll never want to hunt with another dog again. So, I'd hunted with both. I'd hunted with, good dogs throughout, before I was up in North Dakota. But when I got there, man, it was just like, he would hunt with us in the morning, and he would just be totally locked in, like the craziest locked in you've ever seen anything. And then he would hang out with us during the day. And at night, he would crawl on the bed with Pike and just hang out, he was one of the guys. And it was just every single day. Like when my alarm clock goes off in the morning, he is sitting by my bed and I can hear his tail wagging on the floor because he's so excited. He's like, all right, it's time to roll. Let's go. Come on. And, you hunt 7 days a week for, I think I hunted this year out there like 48, 49 days in a row. And they're ready to go every single day. I mean, there's nothing that breaks the bond you have with the lab or with any type of, in my experience, hunting dog. Yeah. But, he's out there every day of the week that you want him to. Anytime you'll take him, he's ready to rock and roll.
That's awesome. He's a good boy, seriously.
Thank you, man.
That was our first time. This is actually our first time having any dogs down in the studio. We had the pod cats. Those cats have since gone with the owner of the studio. Shout out to our buddy Nick, who moved his camp and everything. So we no longer have the podcasts with us, but we're very glad to have the dogs here. And he's been super cool, and he's hanging out there in the backyard making new friends. Shout out to Smoke. Now, where can people find you for music and stuff as this whole ride of everything starting to take off?
As far as now, all I have is Instagram.
Okay.
I've never really had Facebook because I feel like there was too many parents on there, too many opinions.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have a Facebook. I have an Instagram. It's Andy_Austin_music. So you can find me there. I had a Twitter. I think it's still there. I don't ever get on it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've
been trying my best.
Years ago.
I'm on my phone a lot.
I just use Twitter to troll people.
I
have my own Twitter, but I have like a fake Twitter that I just use to like cause a ruckus and get people riled up. It's a great time.
Yeah, but I'm on my phone more than I should be, I'll admit. But between the Braves, I look at the Braves a lot. Stats and everything, and keep up with all that.
When are they going to sign Kimbrel already?
Oh my gosh!
They're chanting for him, aren't they?
Don't get me started, man.
They're chanting for him at the games, aren't they?
Don't get me started. I'm telling you.
So there's the draft coming up here soon. After the draft, we're going to probably sign him because then we don't have to give up our second round draft pick.
So the holdup's all over a draft pick?
Yeah, because we got busted because of our former GM and all doing all that dirty stuff in the international market. So we lost all of our international money. We can't sign anybody until I think it's 2021.
Oh, jeez.
So a draft pick for us is like a bar of gold right now. That's the only way we're growing our farm system other than trade. So we're like holding on to those draft picks like nobody's business. But once we don't have to give a compensation pickup, I think we're going to sign him.
Well, when you guys get him, hopefully that propels you in the NL East. It'd be fun to see Yankees-Braves again at some point, especially given the history with Yankees-Braves. That would be I would very much enjoy that. even though I wasn't alive. I mean, I think we were alive for that. It was like 1 and 4, but anyway.
I don't remember those games.
What year were they in the 2000s?
It was 96 and 99.
Yeah, I remember 99 really well.
Yeah, 96 and 99 were the two. And then the Yanks beat the Padres in 98 and the Mets in 2000.
Yep.
I
remember that. Dude, do you remember? I can still remember this. It was Luis Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Remember when he hit that little chopper up the middle? Diamondbacks were like the purple with the pinstripe, the vest, and he was jumping as soon as he hit it.
Yeah, he beat Mariano,
Man, that was wild.
It was just, wasn't it Schilling and
that was Schilling,
Randy Johnson basically won that whole series for them, like the whole playoffs.
Yeah, and Mariano had been lights out, like that was him in his prime. So to hit a cutter in Game 7 like that through the hole, that was a big deal.
Luis had such a weird stance too. That really open stance.
Was he one where the bat was up really high?
No. He was the one that was super wide in his stance. That was the second baseman for them that had the bat up really high.
Craig Counsell.
Yeah, Craig Counsell.
Yeah, his arm was cutting the circulation off.
He was a gritty little player too.
I think he still manages, doesn't he?
I believe so. He played for the Astros for a while and had a good career with them too. But yeah, he won a series
with the Padres, maybe.
I don't remember who else. I remember him mostly with the Astros.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So go Braves, and I'm gonna say go Yankees. Now you got this guitar right here. What kind of song you want to play for us? What do you want to play for us today?
It don't matter to me. You want to hear something slow or something?
I want to hear something that you're gonna really be into, and what's that song that you Can you play us the one you wrote with Kasey?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
That's what you. No, what's the title of that one?
It's called 1 Foot in the Door.
Now, what was the mood in the room like going into that?
She had it was her hook. She had kind of a 1 foot in the door, and I forget kind of where we went from there, but it formed around being young, and a lot of people can relate. Being young and not knowing if you want to, love that person for the rest of your life or move on and try to find somebody else. And it was just kind of you're loving them with 1 foot in the door, kind of like that security of, I might be, it says in it, I might be half in, but, I'm still, that's as far as I'm going to go from you. And it's just, I don't know, it just come together really well. And
awesome.
It's easier to sing it than it is to explain it.
Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna be singing it for us in a minute. Well, Andy, thank you for coming on, hanging out with us. That wraps up episode 11, Tyler. Holy shit, we're at 11 of these. We haven't tried to kill each other yet. We haven't been told we can't be doing what we're doing, so that means we're doing good.
We're getting there, man.
We're getting there.
We're at 11, which is almost your age now, so
Almost. But hey, so if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you click subscribe, write a nice little review, give us some stars on there. You can also follow us on Instagram at In the Round Podcast, Facebook In the Round. Shout out to Coda Bear, the great pictures and videos that are here. And shout out to all the dogs that we got here, too. We got 3 down here on the basement level. There's the dragon. There's Khaleesi's dragon right there. So without further ado, we're going to let Andy take over this show. An original co-written with Miss Kasey Tyndall. I'm very excited to hear this one. This one's called 1 Foot in the Door. Y'all, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time here on In the Round.
There's a diamond ring everywhere I look, and I got buddies putting car seats in the back seats of their trucks. It's few and far between that I ain't drinking here alone. I know I'd better settle down, or there's a chance that you'll be gone. Girl, I know you're perfect and you're the best I'll ever do. But until I find myself, I can't give it all to you. Just because I ain't ready don't mean I'll never be. I need time to catch up to you outgrowing me. And yeah, I might be standing at this fork here in the road, but that's about as far from you as I'll ever go. Maybe half in, but I ain't leaving, that's for sure. I'm just loving you with one foot in the door. I know you need a little more than what I got to give. And baby, I can't blame you every time I don't make sense. If growing up is what you need from me, well, that just ain't a promise I can keep. Because I ain't ready don't mean I'll never be. I need time to catch up to you outgrowing me. Yeah, I might be standing at this fork here in the road, but that's about as far from you as I'll ever go. Maybe half in, but I ain't leaving, that's for sure. I'm just loving you with one foot in the door. Oh, if you left me tomorrow, I'd have to understand. Knowing that would kill me makes me a better man. Just because I ain't ready don't mean I'll never be. I need time to catch up to you outgrowing me. Yeah, I might be standing at this fork here in the road, but that's about as far from you as I'll ever go. Maybe half in, but I ain't leaving, that's for sure. I'm just loving you with one foot in the